All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our small contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Now, today we're back inside of our Moccasin favorites creating section of the project. This one right here, back in the right module. Yesterday we read the installation section of it. We finished up the installation, so now we're back on track. Even though this is a read-only module, I still want to take it seriously and make sure we go through all the steps and all the procedures in the right order. So with that being said, let's pick up with some light reading. Like I said, I'm not going to start this module from scratch. I already did the previous lines. If you want to go back to the previous days and see exactly where we are, you can do that. But we're going to pick up what we left off in this module here. And it is the correct module, which is going to be the Moccasin favorites, creating a project in Moccasin. So the first thing we will do is learn to deploy our contract to the Ethereum fake network, not really a fake network, but a test network, which will be on the Titanoboa testnet. Once we have learned to deploy our contract to the Titanoboa testnet, we can easily deploy it to any other network we want, such as the Anvil network or the mainnet. The second deploy method will be the Anvil network, which is a local test net that we can use to test our small contracts before deploying them to the mainnet. This will be the same Anvil network we used in the previous sections. Nothing new about it. We're going to use the same procedures, run the same commands, so on and so forth. Now we start by doing that by creating a new file called deploy.py in the script folder of our Moccasin project. In this file, we will write the code to deploy our small contract to the blockchain. This script will look familiar to us because it will be similar to the scripts we used in the previous sections, but with some modifications to work with Moccasin. Now this is the code we will write in our deploy.py file to start. We're going to say from Moccasin, import mocks. From src.favorites, import favorites. Mocks equals mocks function. Mocks.deploy, we're deploying the favorites. Network we're deploying to is Anvil. Now this code imports the necessary modules from Moccasin in our small contract file, creates an instance of the mocks class, and deploys our favorites contract to the Anvil network. In every section, so far we have been using the if name equals main statement to deploy our scripts. Let me move down a little bit. This is how we use the. This is how we usually use the format our scripts. So we say the define, deploy, favorites function. We're gonna pass because that's not the line we're focusing on. We're gonna come down here to the if name equals main, deploy favorites. This is how we've been deploying our favorites.py file, and this is not necessary when using Moccasin, so we can leave it out. Let's go down. Typically, we are using Moccasin to run scripts. We can use the concept of Moccasin main. When we look at the documentation, we will learn about this. Let me see if we can go down a little bit further. We will learn this about the Moccasin main. In our scripts, the Moccasin main function is special. If we have a function with this name in our script, Moccasin will run this function by default after running the script like a regular Python file. So basically, we don't need to run this if name equals main because once we're inside of the Moccasin main is going to look for the script that we're using. In this instance, is going to be the favorites. So it's going to look for any file with favorites inside of our project, and it's going to run that file because that's what Moccasin does for us. It automates our deploying process and cuts out a lot of steps that we don't need to actually deploy our contract. So we're going to leave it there for now. Tomorrow we're going to pick back up. Like I said, this is only light reading, and it's going to be that way for the entire module, so get used to hearing my voice. But I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.